Hi Leo, welcome to your December 2022 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign, Leo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for our actions and interactions with the world at large over the course of 2023, can you believe it? 2022, can you believe it? It's like the end of the year. Crazy. Your actions card is the Temperance card. So this month is going to be very focused. This card has actually been haunting me recently. So hi Temperance, how are you? But what this says to me is we're going to be very, I say we, obviously many of you know I'm a Leo ascendant. But this month is going to be very focused on bringing yourself into a new sense of alignment. So for a lot of you, this could be clearing out the internal closet. For some of you, this might also be a time where you're embarking on a therapeutic or a healing journey. It wouldn't surprise me if maybe you were speaking to a counselor or a therapist. It wouldn't surprise me as well if you were starting to see things in your life in very different ways. It feels like there's a sense of breakthroughs this month, but it's through that internal space. So you're looking at stuff on an internal level and it's kind of like, okay, I need to shift this, or maybe I'm already doing really good here, and in order to enhance that, I need to do A, B, and C. Because this is your actions card as well, this does suggest you are bringing more balance into your life, whether this is a deeper spiritual practice, whether it's enhancing a spiritual practice that you already have, whether it is you shedding layers of things, so that it's like whatever you're doing this month, it has a remedial and a balancing action to it. So this is a powerful month for you to get really clear on where it is that you're going. For your communications and conversations, you have the Star card. So we're already there, 2 for 2 for the majors right now. When it comes to communications, this is big communication. This is opportunity communication. This is communication potentially that comes from overseas, long distance calls, long distance courses, and or potentially for some of you long distance travel. You've got this with the Temperance card, which does suggest to me that this month a lot of the conversations that you're having have an element to them where it's like you are getting into a space of alignment, where you're getting really ready for all of the things that you know you can do, and more importantly the stuff that you, and dare I say it, the stuff that you know you should be doing. And don't let anybody else tell you what that should represents. It has to come from within, right? I'm really not a fan of using the word should or shouldn't you know, for readings. But sometimes, you know, you can't find anything else. Outside of that, the other thing with this Star card as well, this does suggest that this month you could be learning a lot about new technology. You could be looking at new ways of utilizing technology. For some of you, maybe this is around a website. For others, this could potentially be you really looking at the group associations or your social media presence, you know, and that could even be for those of you that are employed by somebody else. Maybe you decide to take that on board. Definitely possible. And this month as well, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are needing to help somebody fix their reputation. For your heart and half, you've got the King of Swords. So hi Raph. Look at that, right? The reason I jest, it's not me. Well, actually it is in my reading anyway. Look at this, right? So the King of Swords, an Aquarius, a Gemini or a Libra male, coupled with the Star card, that's an Aquarius man. This person comes up for you very strong in your cards. This could be a healer. It could be somebody that plays a supportive role. It is in your heart and half sector, right? So this does suggest, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, maybe you are seeking outside help. Maybe you're getting marriage counseling or therapy or something of that nature. So maybe the therapy that's coming in terms of a therapeutic journey isn't actually about just you. Maybe it's about your relationship. It wouldn't surprise me as well if maybe some of you are speaking to a professional that is assisting in or with or around relationships in some regard. When it comes to those of you that are single, look, you could meet someone this month, and this person could be like, there's probably going to be an age gap between you. It's likely that the other person is the older party. It's also likely that when you meet this person, it's almost like you get an immediate kind of, yeah, this person's going to be around for a long time to come. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, we've already talked about how that might show up for you. For your money and materials, you've got the Ace of Cups. So you're finishing the year strong when it comes to your finances and your resources. The heart is open, the mind is working, and it's almost like you're very magnetic this month when it comes to your work, your finances, your resources. It's like the things that you want, you're able to draw to you with a lot more ease this month. And it may be that opportunities come to you through people that you start to connect with on a deeper or sort of maybe even potentially a more profound basis. If you're on or have been on a healing journey on a physical level, this to me suggests a breakthrough. Maybe you're seeing a different doctor or a different therapist. Maybe you're seeing somebody who looks at your entirety rather than just a certain, set of symptoms that you have. There's a breakthrough here when it comes to your work, your finances, but also when it comes to your health, whether that's your physical, mental, emotional, or even spiritual health. There is a breakthrough in these cards for you, Leo, and I'm absolutely here for it. So before we get into the weeks of your month, I do want to say, as always, every year I put on my winter solstice alignment activation event, and this year is no different. It will be going ahead on the 21st of December at 7 p.m. UK time. I'm really looking forward to this. I've got two very special guests that are going to be there. I can't wait to have them on. We're going to be talking numerology. We're going to be talking astrology. We're going to be looking at how the year ahead is panning out. We're also going to be tapping the magic of the solstice itself. And I, obviously, yours truly, will be shooting you off into your personal future with a future life progression so that you can get a heads up of roughly like what's going on with your 2023. How is it going to shape up for you? Where do you lean into your blessings, and what are the challenges that might come up that you need to avoid? And as if all of that wasn't enough, on top of that, you are also going to get insights into the human design and how that is going to show up for all of us in some way, shape or form. It's £33.33. If you want to get your seat, you can do so on the link in the description. You are going to see this all over my socials over the course of the next few weeks, so it would be lovely to have you there. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this with you, and I can't wait to see you there. And if you came to the one last year, I had a bit of a tech glitch. Don't worry, I've sorted it. All right, so for your first week of the month, you've got the Strength card. This is your card. This is having the strength to overcome a hurdle that may have been a problem or issue for quite some time. There's a sense here that you are overcoming a burden in this first week of the month. So as you break into December, you might have a moment where it's like, wow, okay, I didn't realize how much this was holding me back. It may also be as well that you're presenting something to the world that maybe you're not sure of. Maybe this is that you're sharing something new about yourself and it's kind of, oh, not sure how this is going to be received, but ... So I'm really excited about this, and I think it could be really great for a lot of you. And I feel like in some regard, whether you're a bit more like myself, a bit more theatrical, or one of the silent dignity type of Leos, this does suggest that in some way you are going to be pushed forward. All right, so take it. For your second week of the month, you have the Devil card with the Star card. So I will say to you, on a more sort of mundane and practical level, passwords websites, encryption, PIN numbers, all of that stuff. This second week of the month, you want to be really mindful around this. I will also say to you as well, in this first 2 weeks of the month, interestingly enough, around the full moon, right? It looks like you're going to have a strong opinion about something or someone. And if this spills out over to the online or the digital world, remember, the challenge that you have here is once you put it out on the internet, it's out there. You know, you can't take it back. It's not like, you know, when I was a kid, like you could say whatever, there weren't any camera phones, or like we didn't get that sort of stuff until I was already like 15, 16. So do you know what I mean? Like, and even then it was nothing compared to what it is now. You don't have that luxury these days, right? Whatever you say, like it's likely to be recorded, or it's going to be sent out into the world, or you're going to find yourself as a meme, all of that kind of stuff. If you feel the red mist rising, and it's possible here in this second week of the month, take a beat before you respond. Take a minute. Like I was talking about this. So the last time I ran my tarot course, some of my students asked, you know, when you get really harsh comments, what do you... In the early days, I used to go toe to toe with these bitches. I'd be out here like, yeah, da, da, da. Like, and then in the end, you know, I'm obviously older now, and it was like, you know what, it's really just not worth it. So I will either ignore them. If it's a really crappy one, I'll just delete it. I don't, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to get into all of that because I'm too busy living my life, doing me and doing it well. So all jokes aside, if you feel that, watch out for it, because it will come this second week of the month. It will come, and when it does, your knee-jerk reaction is going to be to react. And to be honest, it's better that you take a minute before you respond, if at all. All right. It's likely to potentially as well come through or over a friend. Very possible. Hope not, but possible. For your third week of the month, you've got the Justice card. Aha. So your King of Swords there could also be a Libra. It may not necessarily be an Aquarius, could also be a Libra. However, this could also be that you're speaking to a legal professional around some form of partnership, connection, or relationship. You know, it doesn't have to be that you're filing for divorce, although it's possible for some of you, but that would be like literally around Christmas or the festive period. It could also be maybe you and your partner are choosing to renew your vows. Maybe you're deciding, you know what, we're going to buy a house together. There's something here where you and your partner are getting very committed about taking some sort of action to the point where you are ready to sign on the line for it, right? Where you're ready to really commit to whatever it is. If you're single, I do feel like you're meeting someone. I wouldn't be surprised as well. Maybe this person is a lawyer or a therapist or a counselor. There's something here that suggests whoever this person is, they've got like a very official or regal kind of role. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, as I said, for your fourth week of the month, you have the High Priestess. This is blessings, financial blessings, wins, resources, money, blessings of some kind that you don't see coming. So this isn't like, oh, you know, like I'm giving you this money as a gift or whatever. Like it could come, but it could come very split second. It's like you don't see this coming. I would play the lottery. I would put money on a horse. Like, obviously, you know, I always say this to people, within reason. You don't bet the house, the car and the kids on the roulette table, for crying out loud. I mean, unless you really want to get rid of them, who knows? All jokes aside though, you know, you do what's within your means that's safe, that you know you can, okay, you know, I lost a tenner, awful, right? But it is what it is. Whereas like if you go in, it's like, yes, I've just put, you know, all of our life savings down on, you know, Black 23. I can't remember what the film was, but you see what I mean? Like that, obviously not that. But this bodes very well. So the High Priestess is hidden things revealed. You've got the Ace of Cups here. One way that this could show up, this could be finances or resources that you didn't realize were yours, that somebody reveals to you. Maybe a parent or a loved one says, you know, I've put you in my will and this is what you're going to get. Maybe somebody tracks you down and says, by the way, you're owed this money. Did you know that? It could be something really spontaneous, really kind of out there, but you end this year on a strong financial note, and which means as you go into the new year, you're coming into the new year on a strong financial note, and that for me is awesome. You know, obviously for all Leos, but I think it's brilliant. So in terms of your moons, remember whenever I'm talking about the astrology of the moons, I'm always talking about your ascendant first, to a lesser degree, but always still relevant, your sun and your moon. So on the 8th of December, we have the Gemini full moon. For you, my dear Leos, this is going to be in your 11th house. This full moon is happening at the same time as a Mercury, as a Mars retrograde in the sign of Gemini. And right, so the 8th is like the second week of the year, of the month, and so I wonder if this has something to, these cards are telling us that there's going to be potentially something around a friend, a friendship, maybe a secret is revealed at this time, maybe something is shared with you and you're like, no, that feels like an overstep, or that's too far. And it's like, whatever it is, once it is shared, you know, it has the potential to make us a little bit angry. However, it is a full moon in the house of gains from your career and or your business. So this is also a money house, right? So this could be highlighting to you, because you've got a Mars retrograde there, you might be able to see, okay, this is where I've not been managing my funds or my money properly. This is maybe where I have, where I've not really been doing the best that I can to extract the goods from my business or whatever. So there could be something here where you're looking at how you make money through your career, through your, you know, legacy out in the world, and saying, okay, I'm ready to do something different. Because it is a full moon as well, this is probably going to highlight to you who your benefactors really are, who has your back and who doesn't, will be revealed around this full moon. The day before, the day of, and the day after, when it comes to any lunar event, whether it's a normal new moon, whether it's an eclipse, whatever, whether it's a full moon or a new moon, I don't care. For me personally, I always observe the day before the event, the day of, and the day after. That's where you look for clues. What is happening as a result of this event? What is happening as a result of this? When it's eclipses, it's a lot further out. When it's just like a normal new moon or a normal full moon, yes, the time that it affects is going to be shorter, but those are the 3 days that you always observe, all right? So for your full moon message, you have the gate 52 and stillness. Remember what I said, right? Take a minute before you react so that you can respond if you have to. That gate 52 stillness. The message behind this is, in relation to this full moon and to these two cards, sometimes just knowing what you could say is enough. Right, like you know, like when you get in, you feel like it's like I'm gonna cuss this person out, and it's like then you step back and you're like, you know what, I could destroy you with a sentence, but I'm not in that place. So you do you, boo, and I'm gonna keep doing me. All right. Sometimes just knowing what you could say is enough. Your new moon. So here for this. This feels for me like a reward. This is after a hard, tumultuous year of craziness. This is where the universe is giving us a blessing and a gift. Now for you, this Capricorn new moon is taking place in your 6th house of day-to-day habits, routines, your work, your day-to-day work, your employees, if you have them, your colleagues. This is also the house of, they called it the house of drudgery in ancient astrology, the things that you're slave to. What that means to me is it's the stuff that you have to maintain. The 6th house is a maintenance house. How you maintain your body, how you maintain your maybe not so much your spiritual self, because that's the 12th house, but how you maintain your body, your home, your car, your day-to-day routine, all of the things that you have to do to keep the things that you have is found in the 6th house, right? So your routines and your habits, if you are setting New Year's intentions and resolutions, if you've been with me long enough, you will have heard me say, because I talked about this with Heather, the 21st of December is actually the time to set your New Year's resolutions and intentions, because that's the true sort of moment. That's the solstice power and peak. However, that solstice would have usually coincided with the Capricorn new moon. and the Capricorn new moon is on the 23rd of December this year. So use that moment, because the Capricorn new moon, it's lovely. If you've seen the chart for it, you know what I'm talking about. It's gorgeous. Use it. All right. For this, you've oh, you. Yeah, all right, cool. So for this, we've got the gate 7 and discipline. I don't know if you can see it, but my cheeks are going red. This is interesting to me for so many reasons, so many personal reasons. But this, yeah, it's literally about discipline, but it's also about understanding how the smaller pieces fit together. So I wouldn't be surprised if at this time, that around this new moon, you're having a dream, an intuition, something's coming to you and you're like, okay, this is the thing that I need to adapt on this smaller level, and this is going to help me gain big results over a set period of time. All right, but you've got to stick with it, and it's a Capricorn new moon. If there were ever a word for Capricorn, discipline is definitely one of them. With that said, whatever you do or don't celebrate, whether you do or don't, whether it's Yule, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, I really hope you have a wonderful festive season. I just want to say from my heart to yours, thank you so much for all of your support throughout this year and beyond. It really does mean the absolute world. I wish you all of the best for this month and beyond, and I will be here to see you in the new year of 2023. Take care, and I'll see you soon.